We're good.
Yeah.
It's nice, I think.
To make sure that it works on all the socials.
Yeah. Ooh, look at that little
Boarding pass.
boarding pass.
Why is there a boarding pass in there, Kyle?
We were far away, and now we're close.
We have been out of town for
What feels like 2 weeks.
I guess about a week and a half, right?
It's 2 weeks.
Was it?
Yeah, it's 2 weeks today because we left
Right, I guess you're right.
Tuesday night. Yeah,
That's Tuesday.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right.
Sorry, Bert's still waiting, just trying to see if everything's working. I think it is. I think I can. Yeah, we're live. We are live. Bert is fine. We're good.
Thanks for Bert's like our live stream guardian.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that Nick and I don't understand as it pertains to
Live streaming.
live streaming. And Bert helps us with that. He's our caring caretaker.
He's the live stream Sherpa.
Whoa. Know what's crazy?
What?
Is Facebook just gave me an 8-year memory from my freshman year of college.
Oh.
It's just a wild moment, you know?
Freshman Kyle.
Good old freshman Kyle.
I remember freshman Kyle.
You did not like. It's funny because it's a picture of the day that you first met me.
That probably means we've been friends for roughly 7.5 years.
Yeah.
Because we didn't become friends until halfway through your freshman year.
But isn't that crazy? It's not just a picture. It's literally the picture of the day that you were like, I hate this guy.
Yeah. That's how most good friendships start, though.
Is it?
Maybe not, but I think a lot of friendships start with like, I didn't like you at first.
Friendships start by hating the person. That doesn't sound right.
You know, sometimes it is. Sometimes it's like, oh, I thought you were this way, but then you end up liking each other.
Yeah.
Well, Sky thinks freshman Kyle was adorable.
Yeah.
So,
did the picture get posted on my Facebook? Did we see this? I'm trying to find it now. Now it's like it went away. So
I don't know.
So close. Anyways.
4 people on YouTube. Good morning, Jennifer. Stacy, hello. Pammy, hello. Cheyenne, hi. Cheyenne's driving up to Portland.
Exciting.
Very fun. Cheyenne also asked about our time at the cons. So, at the beginning of the live stream, we mentioned we've been doing some traveling. Yeah, go ahead and pour that.
Oh, yeah.
Pour that coffee.
That coffee juice.
The go-go juice. Anyway, Kyle and I have been out of town for 2 weeks. We flew down to Florida first to do a big old con. MegaCon was the name of it.
So big, it's called Mega.
Yeah. It was our biggest con we've ever done. I'm not sure how many people attended.
A con called Mega. That's pretty cool.
But I would definitely say like at least 50,000 is my guess. At least.
Yeah, at the minimum.
We also met Ryan. I mean, more than
And
met
John.
him, we got to hang out with Ryan and John.
And John.
How
about this?
Ryan and John.
Let's give this. So we met Ryan. And we met John.
We met John.
They both deserve the same amount of like.
Come on down.
You know what I mean? They both deserve the same kind of like excitement in the tonality of it. So
it was great. I think that there was a little bit of nervousness around like, okay, we work remote with these people. Are we going to enjoy hanging out with them in real life?
Yeah.
And I would say we definitely do enjoy hanging out with them in real life. So it was a lot of fun. We got to run the con together. We, sold out of journals at MegaCon, mostly because FedEx lost a package of journals that we needed to sell there. But we did sell out of a lot, like 60% of the inventory that we did have.
Yeah.
That didn't make sense. What am I trying to say? So of the journals we shipped there, 60% of them showed up. We sold all of those journals, and we had to leave the con early because we had no inventory. We had no stock to sell.
Or business cards.
And the same, like literally the same exact thing happened in DC. So FedEx is not high on our gratitude list today. They did mess little things up, but what is high on our gratitude list
is you guys.
Literally I was going to say here's the cool thing about going to cons. And Con and I were talking about this one of the nights when we were out. Every single con we have gone to, one of you have visited us.
Mm-hmm.
When we were at Washington Summer Con, Cheyenne and her husband came to visit us. When we were in North Carolina, we had
Leslie,
we had
Alora,
we had Sam and her boyfriend.
Whose name I did not.
I think it's Grant.
Potentially.
I think it's Grant. Or Gage? I don't know. It starts with a G, I think. Anyway, super cool. And then when we were at MegaCon, and we need to give a huge shout out to this person, Kiara. Not sure if Kiara's watching. I think she
right
just
there,
commented.
Just popped in.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Kiara just popped in. Guys, huge shout out to Kiara. Kiara showed up on like the first day of the con, I think, and literally just was so helpful, so kind. We did not ask her to like show up. We certainly didn't ask her to like work the booth or sell journals. But just over the course of the weekend, she just was helping wherever she possibly could. She would just hang out at the booth. She would answer questions from heroes. She would like filling out her journal. People would come up and like ask her about it. And she like, Con and I have pitched the journal now probably like 1,000 times.
Maybe more.
In person to people. We talk about what it is. We're the co-founders. We have that like ethos. And I would say, even despite that, practice and like knowledge about the journal as being like the co-founders, I think the best pitches come from people like Kiara, who are using the journal. It's like a real life person. And so I would literally sit there and watch it. I'd overhear her talking to someone about the journal. And it was just like it was like an out of body experience. You're seeing someone who is enjoying using the Heroes Journal, pitch it to someone else and convincing them to like also try it themselves. So we did not ask Kiara to do that, but despite that, she came, she worked hard. She helped us, move inventory, and she did an incredible job. And so huge shout out to you, Kiara, for helping us at MegaCon. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
It was a huge deal. And I think like, I don't want to speak too soon here. It kind of convinced us that like, okay, we need to like leverage the help of heroes, because it's not just about the fact that people live closer to these cons than we do. It's that they might be able to sell the journals better than we ever could, because they are like using it in a way that we don't. Sometimes we're a little too close to it.
And specific shout out also to Tacey. So Tacey in a lot of ways was like our Washington DC Kiara.
Yeah. When we went to DC, Tacey showed up and very much the same way, helped immensely.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
there was even a moment where we were like, "Hey, can you watch the booth?" And just like left her alone in her booth. We just like walked around and tried to like go talk to people.
Yeah, and she was like, we came back and she was selling the journal so much. She's like, oh, good, you're here. You can check this person out now, because we have to like we use our phones as like basically a cash register. And so she basically was pitching someone good enough to get them to want a journal, but also entertaining them long enough to be able to hold their attention to when we came back to the booth. So Tacey was incredibly helpful. We gave her a TV because we bought a TV in Florida, took it to DC. We had like a video going of the Astoria Magic Academy, just to kind of give people a visual aid. We didn't want to fly back to Seattle with the TV, so we just gave it to her.
Yeah. And then we also met Elizabeth.
Yeah, that's right.
And then we met,
she came.
And then Erica, did we meet you? I remember we met somebody whose name I didn't catch, and I felt really bad about it. I just like didn't hear the name.
There was like I think it was like Saturday where it was super chaotic. There was a lot of people there on Saturday at AwesomeCon, and we were doing a little bit more shift work because we had 3 people in 2 chairs, and like our booth is only a 10x10, so it's kind of like an awkward amount of space. So you kind of need like 2 at a time for it to feel natural. But
I think Erica came on Sunday when we weren't there.
Oh,
we're so sorry.
Yeah, we didn't even go to AwesomeCon on Sunday because we ran out of journals. Like we had and it was like halfway through, or maybe 2/3 the way through Saturday. We were out of inventory, and it's such a bummer because I think that because we sent 8 boxes from our house here to DC, only 5 of them showed up, which is like annoying. 0 for 2 on FedEx.
0 for 2.
But I do believe even if all 8 showed up, we also would have sold out. That was the rate that we were selling them at. Like we had a huge day on Saturday. And so anyway, but like,
Sam came to Raleigh.
Sam was at Raleigh. Yeah.
Hi, Sam. We gave you a shout out earlier.
Yeah, we gave you a quick shout out for visiting us. Thank you again. So anyway.
Oh, and then Elizabeth brought us coffee.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
We should have made it.
We should have made that coffee.
Totally
it was in my backpack. Sorry.
Anyway, so like incredibly special to meet you guys. And even more like, I don't even know the words to put together. Like, thank you for helping us.
Mm-hmm.
We have no idea what we're doing at these cons, and when you guys show up and you've been to the con before, or you've been to a con before, and you've like sold something at a con, it really does help us a lot. So thank you.
Couple things. I want to tell a really cool story, but before, Mackenzie, I think that we're done with the East Coast for a little bit. We spent like 3 of the last 4 weeks on the East Coast, and I think we're a little East Coasted out. No offense.
Well, we don't have anything booked on the East Coast for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Unless we get into New York Comic Con, but I don't think that's going to happen.
I think they have like a 5-year waiting list, right?
Yeah.
But so this is the story I want to tell.
Yeah.
So Nick and I are sitting at our booth in Raleigh, North Carolina, and a guy walks up to us and says, I saw somebody I work with one of these on their desk.
That's right.
And I thought it was really cool. And we told him what it was, and he left, and then he came back, and he's like, you know what? I want one of these.
Yeah.
So he purchased a Mountain Gray original LOI journal. And then he bought it, and he left, and then he went and filled it out that night. And he came back the next day and was like, I filled this out. I love it so much. Can you sign it? And we were like, sure. We're still new to the whole signing things, but we were like, sure, we'll sign your journal. We signed by our little caricatures. And then he was at AwesomeCon, just walking by.
That's right.
And I was like, hey, I know you. How's your quest? Anyways.
Yeah, it was cool.
So that was kind of a cool, like, it's like seeing someone on their quest, which was fun.
Yeah.
So
it's true. Yeah, you get to meet some of the regular con goers. You also get to meet other booth vendors. And I want to take a quick moment. I'm not sure if he's watching, but Naz, right?
Oh yeah. Or Czar,
or
Naz.
Wearer of the Kerbini.
The Kerbini.
So there's another booth, both at they're at GalaxyCon in North Carolina. They're also at MegaCon, and they were at AwesomeCon. So there is a person in the Heroes Quarters that we met in North Carolina named, they go by Naz. Mm-hmm. And Naz is kind of in flux right now. Just got moved to New York, got a new job, moved from Texas, and now was traveling everywhere. And so very nomadic in that sense. And so we kind of got to become friends with him and just got to see him at every con. And it was really nice. And he's part of the Heroes Quarters. He has a journal.
He wears his Sword and Circle hat to all the cons.
Yeah, and genuinely a super kind soul. I'm not sure if he's watching right now or what, but I think the Facebook name is Czar. Mm-hmm. TSAR, I think.
TSAR? CZAR is how you spell Czar.
Sorry, I guess I did spell it right. I'm not sure how you spell it, but if you could just send him a little note of encouragement, because he was incredibly kind and friendly and helped us quite a bit and checks in on us. Literally, we'll just show up to our booth how you guys doing? Yeah. And it feels really good. So
he works for Foam Brain. If you guys ever heard of Foam Brain.
I actually bought some dice from them.
Yeah.
That I'm excited to use. I don't know about you, but being at all these cons and just being surrounded by D&D as much as we have been, I've really wanted to play D&D. Yeah. I hope we can get a game together soon.
That'd be fun.
So anyway. Yeah. So yeah. Wow. This guy just hit us with the whole spelling. Looks like
what is TSAR?
I think both work.
Wow. Sorry. I corrected you, and I was wrong for correcting you. And I want everyone to see that I can be a jerk and I can correct you live. I should have just gone with it.
That's all right. You made that apology weirdly self-congratulatory.
Was it? I'm sorry. I was trying to make it very self-condemning. Actually, I was trying to double down on
You're
the
like,
on the condemnation.
I want everyone to see how good of a person I am. No, I'm just kidding. It's okay. I'm not upset about it.
I guess one of the cool things about going to a con is that Nick and I throw a couple swears in when we pitch, so you can see a little bit of the more zany version.
Edgy. We're an edgy brand now.
Yeah, we get the swears out there.
Yeah.
But we don't swear on Facebook because we don't want to get banned or something. But
That's true.
Also, I just think swear words as a whole
Tommy wants a wand hat.
That's a really good idea, actually.
So yeah, speaking of merch, we are going to have merch back in the store here very soon. We actually have it upstairs. We got a huge bulk order before we went out of town 2 weeks ago. We haven't unpacked it yet. We just got to unpack it. We got to put it in our warehouse and put it on our website. We're also going to have some bundles for those that maybe want more pins or writing pins or plushies or something. We'll probably sell the remaining inventory that we had from Kickstarter. That might take a little longer to get on the website because we do want to make sure everyone has their Kickstarter stuff before we start shipping it. Mm-hmm. And we've already gotten like 10 back, maybe more. So 10 back, I mean packages that didn't reach their final destination and were sent back to us. So we got to figure that out. It's a big giant problem, but that's okay. It's all part of it.
It's the fun part of fulfilling Kickstarter that doesn't go perfectly every time. But alas.
Ooh. Sam's IMA journal showed up today.
Love that.
Has everyone gotten their journals, their IMA journals? Who's still waiting?
I know Tacey's still waiting because they're getting held at FedEx.
Mm-hmm. Tacey's journal got held up at the same FedEx that our journals that we sent to DC got.
They're all hanging out. They're having a little they're having their own free journal Friday.
All the staff at that FedEx are becoming the hero of their story. So much we could talk about, but I do want to have a moment because, and just be a little transparent with you guys here. Our business is in a weird spot.
Super weird.
And by weird, I just mean unfamiliar in that we've never been here before. It's a new season. And the way that you get into this season is by growing, which is really exciting. We are sort of on track to double last year from a growth standpoint. Basically, so think about it this way. We are maintaining, we actually have less staff than we did a year ago. We have the same amount of space we did a year ago, but everything else about the business is doubled. So the amount of journals we're sending out is doubled. The amount, we didn't do a Kickstarter last year either. So that there's an additional project bandwidth cost, all that there. And so long story short, we are entering into a season that many bootstrapped, fast growing companies hit, which is we are a little cash poor. That's okay. Doesn't mean we're going out of business or anything like that. It just means that
it's quite the opposite.
Yeah, it's actually the opposite. We just have each get a little creative. And again, this is a very normal thing. When you're growing this fast and you're bootstrapped, meaning we don't have
no outside money,
no investors. We don't have VC money, none of that. It basically just means, go ahead.
In the middle of this, I want to give a little bit of an inspiration to anyone out there who wants to start something.
Yeah.
Nick and I built, with the help of you guys, obviously, but the entire Heroes Journal started with an initial investment of $7,000.
Yep. $7,000. Not all at once either. $7,000 over the course of 10 months. 10 months. So it wasn't like I had, and because I didn't have $7,000 just to pull out and put into a business.
Yeah. So
we had little by little, we just put money into it, slowly grew it enough to launch a Kickstarter, which is, and by the way, that's the hardest way to do it. Mm-hmm. So if we were to do it again, I don't know if I'd start on Kickstarter, but
yeah. David, by cash poor means, we have money to pay rent and our food and we can pay ourselves, but we're having a hard time covering the cost of a lot more inventory. Yeah. The type of inventory that the demand needs us to have, but the problem is the demand hasn't comes in as it goes, so you have to pay for it up front. So we're as far as paying our people and paying our rent and all that stuff, salaries, that's all covered. It's more or less the concern about the future pay that we have to worry about.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very odd, but you start to have to anticipate problems, shit hitting the fan. Not today, but in like 3 months from right now, and you have to start really thinking through some of those problems.
I
swear, because like here's a good example. So Kickstarter is cool, right? Because you do a big Kickstarter. There's a big number. It's all exciting, and it's very cool for the community. And it's like feels like everyone's a big like a big piece of that project, and it gets finished. And yeah, then all this money drops into your account. I mean, Kickstarter takes a big chunk, but you get all this money at once. Boom.
Yeah.
And it feels like you have unlimited money.
You know, I kind of want to tell. I kind of want to break down the numbers of Kickstarter.
Yeah. Do like
because you guys saw how much money we raised, right?
Yeah. Do some napkin math.
I'll just give you like the super quick ones. So we raised $302,000 on Kickstarter. 70 people canceled their pledge. So we ended up raising about like, it might have been more than that. We only raised about $297,000 after all was said and done. We raised $297,000.
That's right. We technically didn't hit the stretch goal, but we still got mice plushies for you guys.
I know. We thought about saying something, but we didn't.
No, we didn't think about it.
And then Kickstarter took $24,000.
Yeah, which is that's not crazy.
That's
very normal.
So we ended up with about $272,000, roughly. I don't know why I gave such a specific number and then said roughly, but total with fulfillment, the Kickstarter probably cost us anywhere in the ballpark of $160,000 to $200,000 to fulfill. With marketing, with everything, with everyone's salaries and everything. So we walked out of it with like anywhere in the ballpark of $70,000 to $90,000 in profit, which was quickly eaten up by the fact that we couldn't really sell anything new because we had to fulfill our Kickstarter. So we had to wait 5 months. So yeah, it was a very expensive endeavor. But you have you start to plan like you have all this money, which is probably our fault. But in reality, you do not. So that is one of the hard parts about running a successful Kickstarter is that the money goes away fast, and it's money that you have to hold on to for a long time in order to make sure that you're healthy.
It's kind of like, I mean, it's not like this at all. It's kind of like when like professional athletes get their like rookie signing bonus, you know, and they go from being like a college athlete who are like basically dead broke to being a millionaire overnight, and they get paid like that. And you think initially like, oh my gosh, I have all this money. I can go buy like a house, a car, whatever. And then like tax season rolls around and half of that goes back to the government. You have to make payments on all these things. Like it catches up with you fast. And humans aren't the best at like conceptualizing sort of the delayed payments that have to be made on these. So anyway, when it comes to fulfilling the Kickstarter, I don't know, did you cover this part?
I do want to say one real quick thing.
Yeah,
David makes a good point. We have no bad feelings about cancelers, by the way.
Yeah,
none.
That happens. That is just as run of the mill as Kickstarter taking their.
Yeah,
like it's what happens, and it's not like people. It's actually not about people canceling. It's actually people's cards being declined.
Yeah,
usually is what it is, or there's fraud detected. So it's actually almost like a security thing. In a way, it's not like people like faked us out, you know. So it's not. There's no bad blood.
Yeah, because it's a month-long campaign. And they don't charge you till the end.
Right.
So a lot of people will like. It'll happen a lot of times. Someone gets a new card.
Yeah, someone gets a new card, or they're like overdrafted, or is that the word?
Yeah.
You know. Anyway, so.
Anyways,
it happens.
No bad blood with anybody who canceled.
Yeah. So anyway, what happened for us is we had to fulfill the Kickstarter, basically the beginning of this month. And you know, we had to pay for shipping on all those things. So you are basically paying shipping on 3,000 orders, many of which are international, which is much more expensive shipping. That happens like immediately. So in like 2 weeks, you end up paying like upwards of like 30 to 40 grand, just like in a second, just to keep the promise that you made back in March. And that's the right thing to do. And we were anticipating that cost. One thing that we weren't really anticipating
the LOI pre-order
was putting a down payment to our supplier on our LOI, Legend of Astoria relaunch, right? And doing that roughly in the same month. So it's like now and so you have to put a down payment on that, which is like another $40,000 because we're getting a whole bunch more journals. They're not here yet, but we have to pay to start production, right? So you kind of have to like pay to keep one promise And then to start another project, you have to pay. And when you have to pay at the same time, all of a sudden, you're still growing, good things are happening, but you're cash poor.
And then don't forget, when our journals landed, we had to pay taxes on those.
Yeah.
$20,000. Boom.
Ouch. Anyway.
And we're giving you way too much information about our business.
We're not complaining. I don't want it to come across we're the victims here and we're so
we're extremely fortunate.
Yeah, it's just part of running the business, and it's part of running a small business, and it's the path that we've chosen, and I wouldn't have wanted to choose another path. Yeah. So it's part of being a bootstrap business. We have to slow down and choke our dollars a little bit and get a little more lean, but we're still going to grow, and we are growing, and the train is moving. It's very hard to stop a train.
Yeah.
So that's the exciting thing. Mm-hmm. And it's proven to us when we go to these cons. We talked a lot about the heroes that come up and they introduce they're like, oh my gosh, like I'm so-and-so from the Heroes Quarters, and we get to meet them and take a picture. We haven't mentioned the sheer amount of people that just go up to our booth and they go, I know who you are. Mm-hmm. I've heard about this. I've seen this on TikTok. I've seen this on advertisements. I've seen this on new rock stars or YouTube integrations or whatever. That's what I talk about when I talk about this train. Like there's this movement of people that are aware of the Heroes Journal, even if they haven't bought a journal or used it yet. That's the sign of growth. I think that's really exciting to me.
Yeah,
so
I think so too.
Anyway,
as far as what you guys can do to help, just like keep filling out your journals, or just like keep being the hero of your story. Because this is my genuine belief. This is like. The good thing about where we're at right now is we have zero debt. Nick and I in our lives have like zero debt.
Yeah.
We're both just, everything that we have is just all in the black, and we're doing well.
Yeah.
So therefore, going out of business is not running out of money. Going out of business is people losing interest in the thing that you do,
right,
and not believing in the mission that you stand for.
Yeah.
So as long as we can continue to like pretty much preach the idea that people can be the hero of their life, and that goal setting doesn't have to be shameful, and it can be positive, and we can all build a positive narrative about ourselves, we'll always be in business.
Yeah.
It may look different. It may look like Nick and I back in a 1-bedroom house, eating top ramen. It may look like we are in every Target in America.
Which we basically did, by the way.
Yeah. So
that was fun.
So either way, it's like, as long as the thing is still wanted by the world,
yeah,
then we are in business, and that's the best way to look at it for us. We can always figure out a way to get through these times. We can always figure out a way, as long as people are still willing to do the work of being the hero of their life, and that's what I'm focusing on.
Yeah, that's the only thing to focus on. I mean, money's gonna come, money's gonna go. Some days you're gonna have great sales days. Other days, for some reason, you're not. Kyle and I have been really disciplined and really lean. We have not taken much money out of the business at all. Basically just enough to live. For the last 3 years, we've put everything back into the business for the most part, for the large most part. Like how much would you say we've taken out of the business that like wasn't necessary?
Was it necessary?
Yeah.
Like would our salaries be necessary?
Well, yeah.
So our salaries are necessary
to eat.
Yeah. I would say
I think we said
that you and I have taken out $2,000 each.
Yeah, I think that we did a little splurge. We took out $2,000 from the
business. Because what we did was because we get raked over the coals in taxes.
Yeah.
I think we took an additional $2,000 our first year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was fun.
Which is, I mean, I don't want to make
that's a lot of money.
Yeah, I don't want to make that seem like it's not. But that's basically the most extra I've ever taken out of the business.
Yeah.
So we're not trying to say anything. I'm just trying to say all the money that we've made has gone back into the business, and that's part of bootstrapping. But to Kyle's point, which is the ultimate point, as long as the journal is growing and we're creating buzz and people are using the Heroes Journal every day, and there's a movement of people becoming the hero of their life, that's how it works. And if you really, really want to help, I'll give you something a little more tangible. Like Kyle said, fill out your journal, use it, love it. Also, like, share it. We're on social media right now. We're using a social media platform. When you fill out your journal, take a picture of it, tag us in it, hashtag the Heroes Journal, hashtag Astoria Magic Academy. I know that doesn't seem like it is helping, and I know that real estate on social media isn't cheap, so I'm not saying like that as a cheap thing. But if you really are interested in helping us out, genuinely just tagging us is like the way to do it. Because if, let's say it's like a Barnes & Noble or a Target or maybe even an investor or something like that, if they look at our brand and they see there's like a movement of every single day, people are using journals around the world. Like everyone's getting up, they're opening their Heroes Journal, they're using it. That is much more interesting than a profit loss statement.
Yeah.
Or, are you cash poor? Or are you bootstrapped? Like it's part of it. But what I'm saying, so I mean, think about it like, let's say this is such a dumb example. Let's say Starbucks is in massive debt, right? But every single day, like actually I have to say that. Let's just say Starbucks is in huge debt and they're not cash positive. They're still incredibly valuable because people know Starbucks. They drink Starbucks almost every day. And there's like this whole almost cultural understanding and movement around Starbucks. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And by the way,
sorry,
I think the part that is kind of crazy about this is that if you could post it on like your personal pages and then tag us. So the posts in the HQ are great because they're for each other.
Yeah.
But it's like the posts that everyone in the world can see.
Yeah. Like if you have a YouTube channel, even if it's small, do a review of the Heroes Journal. If you have an Instagram or you have a Twitter or you have a Facebook or you have a TikTok, especially TikTok, make a video, make a post. It'll take you like a minute or two and it helps us immensely because, if you're using something every day and I'm not asking you to do this every day. I'm just saying like, if you're looking for a way to help, this helps us a lot because we can repost these and it helps us grow our buzz on social media and as a brand, and it proves our concept of people becoming the hero and wanting to be the hero of their story every day. Yeah. So anyway, look, Alex got asked to be on a podcast to talk about the Heroes Journal.
What?
Yeah. Look,
I've been asked to guest on a podcast to talk about the Heroes Journal. What?
That's really cool.
That's so cool.
What podcast?
How is SideQuest Deck going? Those are getting created with that they're getting made now.
Yeah, they're getting made. They're actually done, I think, but they will come on the same shipment as our LOI stuff. So, unfortunately, even though it's probably something that we could have had like airship to us, it'll come later in the year. But we'll release it as its own thing.
Yeah, so they're done though. That's cool.
Yeah, they look great. We don't have any of them. Maybe we will soon.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Carr is giving away an LOI journal for as a part of like a retreat.
Nice. Eben Hawk just got their IMA journal. Super exciting.
Yeah. Naomi has posted about it. And if you have, by the way, posted, like we are also, so it's called user generated content is like the marketing term for it.
Yeah.
But we actually have a really good amount of like user generated content for the size of our company. You guys are already really incredible. So don't take that as like a
right. Like you guys aren't doing enough.
No, you guys are doing amazing.
You guys are actually, I guess, yeah.
We were just trying to give you something actionable. I guess
that's true. You guys do an incredible job. We're not over here, shaking our fists like, why don't we have more people tagging us on social media? Because you guys actually do. In fact, we probably get tagged, I would say 5 or so times a day. Which, I mean, I started our Instagram page. I remember running it. I remember DMing people, telling them about the Heroes Journal, and just begging them to like think about it. Yeah. But now we have people using it. So again, that's the train effect. That's like, you started this big movement. It takes a long time to get rolling, but now we're moving, and we're heading in the right direction.
David, it's Eben Hawk podcast, not Ethan Hawke, which would be interesting. If Ethan Hawke was in here, that'd be pretty crazy.
I do love Ethan Hawke.
But Eben Hawk is just good.
Wow, look at that. And it's Eben Hawk's last day of their Purple Journal.
Love that.
That's amazing.
That's so good.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, so that's like a little bit of the
that was very behind the scenes.
Yeah, that's like where our heads are at.
Yeah.
A lot of the time. If you guys ever like, I don't know if you guys are ever sitting there in your house and you're like, you know what? I wonder what Nick and Kyle are thinking about. Because that's what I would be thinking about if I was in my house. No, it's not. But yeah, we're just thinking about what does the next stage of this business look like? What is the next stage of helping people look at themselves as the hero of their life? And how do we keep this train rolling? Because here's the thing. I think at this point, if we went out of business, I think we had more people mad at us than we had people who were like indifferent.
Right.
Because people like we get emails every day like, why are you out of inventory? Like, why are you like why don't you have inventory?
Right.
It's like it's not that easy. There's a global shortage on shipping.
That's true. So yeah, we're just trying to survive. I mean, like, first, like, what do they say? It's like,
so you're
from 0 to 1 million. It's like a marketing game, but from like 2 to 10 million as a small business, it's distribution, and logistics, and we are starting to come up against that beast, that dragon, if you will. So yeah. Yeah, I mean, look how kind you guys are. Like, everyone here is like, oh, I recommend the journal all the time. Like, thank you. I mean, thank you so much. Again, I want to reemphasize, like, we're not sitting here upset that we don't have enough tags on social media or enough word of mouth, stuff like that. Thank you. If you use a journal, thank you. If you share about the journal, thank you. If you recommend it to your friends or your clients or friends and family, whatever, thank you. Thank you for caring about it. It helps us immensely. And especially word of mouth is much more powerful than like a tag on social media or something. Yeah. So, and again, like, we saw that in person. We saw that with Tacey. Tacey would pitch the journal, or like, we would pitch the journal, and then Tacey would come in and she'd go, hey, guess what? I lost 30 pounds with this journal. Yeah. And here's what my habit tracker looks like. And she even brought her completed LOI journals, just busted them out, colored pages and all. She was like, I have nothing to hide. Look at the life change that happens from this, from being the hero of your story. And you could just really see, like, people buy in on a deeper level than even we could get them to buy in on. And so, those stories matter. And like, we spend a lot of money on marketing. We think all the time about marketing. Our most effective marketing is your story. Mm-hmm. You sharing your story of the Hero's Journal with people that know you. Yeah. So anyway, thank you for doing that.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Also, I love this like subthread on YouTube going on right now about Ethan Hawke. Apparently, Ethan Hawke is a huge medieval nerd, written a few books, would likely be into the Hero's Journal. So
I love it. I mean, hey, if we can get it into Ethan Hawke's hands,
we'll have Eben Hawke and Ethan Hawke, which is pretty exciting.
Cool. Ethan Hawke stars in one of my favorite movies of all time, Dead Poets Society. So,
he is?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
honestly, don't even know who Ethan Hawke is. If I'm keeping it 100,
you'd recognize him. He's kind of one of those. It's like you've heard the name and you're like, who is that? And you see his face, you're like, oh yeah, he's like in a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Bridget, this is exciting. This is an exciting moment, everybody.
Ooh.
Just got mine from you guys in DC on Saturday. It was so nice meeting you. I'm so in love with the journal already. Thank you, Bridget. Thank you.
Thank you.
That means so much to us.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah, I don't remember, but I was gonna say thank you so much for stopping by. I wonder. Yeah. I mean, did we tell you to join the Heroes Quarters? I don't remember.
Yeah. How do we? Because we're like, I think we're getting better at pitching the journal. I think we're still terrible at pitching the Heroes Quarters because it's so hard.
Yeah, it's true.
It's so hard to pitch. Like, how do you encapsulate what the Heroes Quarters is, or our live streams on YouTube, in like a little bit of words? It's really difficult because there's so much going on.
Yeah, it is.
I was telling someone this. The AOC shirt.
That's right.
I remember.
I
yes.
thought it was her.
Yes. Yeah.
So she. So Bridget was wearing a shirt that said "Drink water and don't be racist."
Don't be racist. It was pretty great.
Which is like two like different sides of this, like just so far apart pieces of advice.
Yeah, but
great, are both great pieces of advice, and it was we had a quick conversation about it. It was really funny. She had never heard about us before, from my knowledge. She got a journal, and now she's here, and that's super cool. That never would have happened if we never would have went to AwesomeCon, nor if you never would have went to AwesomeCon yourself.
It's true.
Bridget. So amazing. Thank you. That's so cool. That means a lot to us.
And then you came here.
Yeah.
What a wild life.
I know.
Because we're all the way on the other side of the world now.
Look at what drinking water and not being racist does.
It took us 12 hours to get back here, by the way.
Yeah, we had a long travel day.
It took so long to
get home.
We
were delusionally tired yesterday. Yeah. Look at Sam absolutely pitching to Bridget about the Heroes Quarters.
No, I think just pitching in general.
just pitching in general. Yeah, I guess it's not.
Cheyenne said, to pitch the Heroes Quarters, just tell them alongside this journal and having your own quest, there's also a community of massive supporters.
Yeah. Honestly, we should just have like
of any quest you could think of. It's true.
We should put that on our business cards.
Yeah.
I don't know why we haven't. Just like, oh yeah, by the way, this will take you to our Facebook group.
No, this is the stat that I love about our Facebook group. So there's about 11,000 heroes in the Heroes Quarters.
Mm-hmm.
But there's like 16,000 posts, which is so much cooler to me.
That's pretty cool.
Because that just means that people are actually doing something with this thing. It's like one thing to like join a group and then never go back into it.
It's true.
It's another thing to like actually interact with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we talked about some cool things too, as far as housing community.
Mm-hmm.
This I don't want to like say too much because we haven't decided anything by any means, but we did kick around the idea of building our own platform. Which would be kind of fun. But I don't know.
It's hard.
It's hard. It's a lot of work. It's a whole lot of work. Anyway, is there anything else we wanted to talk about today?
We've only been streaming for 42 minutes. Now, we don't have to stream for a specific amount of time, but I feel like
I just want to make sure we have time to journal. We can still talk about more stuff. I want to have a journal time because we're getting back into our routine. We're getting back into home, and so I want to ground myself a little bit.
It's true.
And if you guys would like to do that, you definitely could.
I will say, just to everyone out there, I woke up this morning and it's a beautiful day here in Seattle. And I was so thankful to be home. And a lot of our branding and a lot of our thoughts are this idea of stepping out on an adventure and getting out of your comfort zone. But sometimes when you're like in a place that you love being and it's like you are comfortable, that's also something to like be thankful for. Because we weren't here for a long time. Seattle's definitely one of my comfort zones, and I'm glad to be back. Feels great.
Me too.
Feels good to be back in the saddle.
Megan had a really good idea. Said, just an idea. Maybe let us give you testimonials, short videos, and maybe you can show people for the next con.
Ooh.
So, yes. Also, this is kind of mixed with another idea. So there's this might be a rabbit hole. Here we go. I'm going to do it fast. There's a company called Crumble Cookies that I love. I go to them every week. One of my favorite brands. I also love cookies, but I think that they've done their marketing and their branding very well in their franchising. Crumble Cookies, look them up. In their stores, so their whole shtick is that every week they have new flavors of cookies that they sell. So they have like 4 new flavors. So you kind of get this built-in food connoisseur culture. So, on what they end up doing is on TikTok, they have tons of people every week that try their new flavors of cookies and they like rate them. So they'll make these TikTok videos and they'll be like, okay, this is the peanut butter and jelly cookie. I'm going to try it. And like, oh, that was good. That's better than I thought it was going to be. Okay. 8 out of 10. Now I'm going to try the next one. So what they do in their stores, they put up these TVs that like basically vertical like a phone, but it's the size of a TV. And they just show these TikTok videos. They show the videos that they're tagged in. And it kind of just like, it creates a certain buzz and like a certain testimonial, to your point, Megan, about like the product itself and the excitement and that like, I get to try this new flavor and it's very exciting. So I think like it would be cool to maybe at a con do something similar to that, where you have these like video reviews of people that you can kind of like watch, and maybe even for our website. I don't know. So great idea. Maybe there's a way to like collect video reviews.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Also, big news, King Fallon. I lost 40 pounds this year using the journal and habit tracking.
Wow.
That's incredible. That's so incredible.
That is wild. 40 pounds. Good for you. I wish I could like stuff on YouTube.
Yeah, I know.
Tara shaved off 15 pounds in 3 months.
Philip, we have a Discord server. It's not as lively as our Facebook group.
Yeah.
But we do have a Discord server.
Yeah. Good to know. Good to know, though, Philip. I don't think we would ever abandon YouTube.
Or Facebook.
Yeah, or Facebook. But anyway. So, yeah, we could talk a lot. Good for you, Fallon. That's incredible. 40 pounds.
It's so much. That's incredible.
Like, that's genuinely, that's like a whole different.
That's like a life-changing amount of like weight loss.
Yeah, I mean, so is 15 pounds. Don't get me wrong.
That's true.
But yeah, that's like good for you.
Congratulations.
I didn't know.
It's not even over yet.
Yeah, just getting started.
Just getting started.
Yeah.
Melissa said, I don't weigh myself, but clothes fit better. And that's what matters.
That's great, actually.
I love that.
Cool.
Okay. So good. I'm glad that people, so Sam said, I use Discord to chit chat and not post.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. I'm glad that it's good. It's like, it has its like purpose.
Sam is definitely like one of our Discord MVPs for sure. Sam does a really good job of being in the Discord, engaging and stuff, which is awesome. Yeah.
Huh. No worries, Rita.
Hi, Rita. I saw Rita's unboxing video. Thank you for making that video. Rita made a little unboxing video of her Historia Magic Academy stuff, and it was very fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
We obviously pack a lot of these things, but we rarely ever get to see someone's true unboxing emotions, and it was really fun to like see your face while you did it and your excitement. So thank you, Rita, for capturing that moment for us. Appreciate it.
Melissa starts a new quest. That's so cool. Act 3 is the beginning of a new quest. I have not seen the Kintsugi face paint post.
Sorry, Sky, we have not seen the post. Forgive us. Oh yeah, Tanya's gonna go to Salt Lake, which is really good. Yeah, so cons coming up. We have one in Rose City.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's like the week of, it's like the first weekend, I think, or maybe the second weekend of September. And then we have Fan X Con in Salt Lake City the week after that. And then that's all for a long time. And then I think we have one in December in LA.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Lots of things happening.
Lots of things. We need some downtime, though. I don't want to talk about more cons for
I know. I don't want to leave my house. I don't want to leave the house for a long time.
Yeah.
But we do. Anyways. Amy, I didn't miss it. We were talking about something else, and I didn't read it out loud. Yeah. But Amy's been using the journal to keep track of steps, and I need towards any virtual race I'm doing, and also my assessment that I'm working on. These are like side quests for me while working on my main task. It's really been helpful. Yeah, I mean, sometimes like having a place to keep track of all the things that are on the side is also helpful, because a lot of times the main adventure is really easy to keep track of because you're kind of like thrust into it. So a lot of times you might need, because I've been thinking about this a lot for my personal life, is that I don't need a lot of help keeping track of like the work that I do with the Heroes Journal, because it's like hitting me in the face every 3 seconds. I need help. The journal helps me keep track of like everything else in my life. Like, am I exercising? One of my new goals is to try to eat healthier.
Self-care.
Like, am I being creative? Like, a lot of those things will get swept on the rug because everything in my main quest is so apparent and so obvious all of the time. So,
here's a question for you.
Yeah.
Would you say that between the two storylines, since you are basically used them both at this point, would you say that one is better for like a certain style of quest than the other, or are they virtually the same?
I'll say a couple things. So I'm a weekend. I'm a weekend. This is my weekend review.
Nice.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
The first thing is, I think that the best way to engage with the story is to color in the journal. I genuinely believe that, because the story changes ever so slightly, that the only way to pay attention to the things that are happening is to color in the characters. Because you'd be like, oh, I colored in this character over here, and now they're over here. Yes. You know what I mean? So it's like you kind of have this way of engaging into the actual journal, which is pretty cool. That's my first thing. I haven't colored it in, but seeing Tacy's journal, I thought, you know what, this is incredible. This is what that does. And that's the first thing. Second thing is, I think that it's too early to say. I think that this journal, no offense to anyone using LOI, but the IMA journal as it stands right now is genuinely better than LOI, based off of the daily interaction that the art has with you.
Yeah.
But the good news is, I genuinely believe in our product. I think that it's a great product. I think that it's something that helps people live a more heroic life, and has genuine value. So I think both are great, but I do like the daily advancement of the journal.
Yeah.
And I think Ryan got better at drawing the characters. So it's funny because if you see all the different iterations,
oh my god!
Not only is there more like animation,
yeah,
it's just sharper, it's cleaner, it's like all the characters have a little bit more personality, and so on. Also, we have a YouTuber who met us at a YouTube commenter who met us at AwesomeCon and is excited that you're a John Mayer fan. So,
oh yeah.
And loves the journals. It was great to meet you. I
don't know what your actual name is.
Yeah.
Because it's your YouTube name. But nice to meet you. Did you get a journal? Sorry. I wish I had more information so I could reference. We met a lot of people at AwesomeCon.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my weekend review.
Also, I don't know if congratulations, Melinda. She made a comment a little while ago. I also saw your post in the Heroes Quarters today about starting your third act of your third journal.
Yeah.
Super cool. Good for you. I loved your commentary on like getting to that point.
Yeah.
And finish strong. That's incredible. And just to piggyback on what you said, Kyle, I agree. Using IMA, I think, is an elevated experience. And I was thinking about it this way. Because I've seen the finished version of LOI and stuff like that. Well, at least the PDF. I think they can both be used for whatever you want. I think the story in IMA inspires building like healthier habits, self-care type stuff. And I think that LOI is maybe more apt for setting out and doing something new.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
And there's a lot of overlap there, by the way, which is why you can use both for whatever you want. But just there's like a story association that I have with LOI about leaving, about getting out of your comfort zone, about traveling and constantly meeting new people. Like that's kind of the story of it. And so maybe if you're like moving or you're like adopting a new project or starting a new job or starting school or something, LOI might be like a more appropriate journal. But I feel like IMA is a way to spice up like the normal or like make yourself more healthy in your normal environment. I don't know. Maybe that's I might be a little early on saying that because I don't think I get to decide that. I think the users get to decide that. The heroes, get to decide that. But anyway, that's just kind of my quick 2 cents.
I agree.
2 cents.
2 cents. First thing, Michelle, we did see the video and it was really great. Thank you for making that.
Yes.
Sorry, I saw that earlier and I forgot to say something. But yes, we saw it. It was great. Thank you so much for doing that.
Love it.
And then on YouTube, I remember this interaction vividly actually, because you were with your friends and you were like, "Hey, I got my Kickstarter. It's amazing. Thank you so much. You did a great job." And then you said hi. I remember this now.
Oh, yes. You
remember that?
Yes. I do.
Yes.
I think you were drinking. You had a backpack on, and you were drinking a bubble tea or something.
Something along those lines.
You were drinking something.
Yeah, you had a drink in your hand.
Yeah, you're very like it was very. You like I don't know how to say this without. You're very cool.
Yeah.
Like, very cool, casual about it.
Yeah, you're like,
oh yeah, I just got my Kickstarter. Thank you. And we were like, holy crap, thank you so much for like helping us like raise money for our Kickstarter. And you were like, yeah, I just got him. Good job, guys.
Yeah.
It's very very cool. It's very like, hey, you did it. So that was cool. Thank you. That was very nice. I do remember that interaction now. I think you had glasses on, maybe.
Potentially. Now we're giving ourselves way too many areas.
I think you were 5 foot. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah.
I don't. Yeah. Wearing a backpack and had a drink. Appreciate the kind words. Boom.
Told you. Dang. What a moment.
I love food and drinks, and I love backpacks. So clicked in my head right away. Boom. Anyway, we're gonna journal, unless you have anything pressing for the people.
And glasses too. Look at you.
Look,
the guy.
I have an awful memory, but
the guy can't forget faces.
I can, but I mean, for some reason, sometimes I just remember random stuff. That I think that the reason it sticks out is we never had an interaction like that before about our Kickstarter, where someone was just like, "Hey, I got my Kickstarter, thank you," and just kind of like usually it's like someone that we know or so. Anyway, it meant a lot. Thank you. Yes.
Yes.
Cool.
Alrighty.
Shall we?
Today is my first. So we're gonna start using this vernacular so that you guys can get. We're gonna start using it day to day so that you guys can start getting used to it. It's not in the journal yet, but I'm starting chapter 2 today.
Ooh, I'm so excited for it. Like
chapter 2.
I don't know why I put up with this for so long. I have been calling the chapter sections reflection sections for so long, and every time I've said it, it makes my skin crawl.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why.
We had them chapters at first, and then it didn't make any sense because
it was a different concept back then. Chapters were like OKRs.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we basically, in the revamped version of LOI, which isn't out yet, and this is not in IMA, so don't panic. In the new version of LOI, they will be called chapters. So we can get a lot more like specific about what page people are on, which is kind of cool without having page numbers and without having dates, which I love. So it can kind of be like, hey, instead of like I'm in Act 2, you can say I just finished chapter 3 of my LOI journal. So there's more payoffs. There's more, there's more of like a momentum building opportunity there. You don't have to go like a whole month to say, hey, I just got to my 3rd act. Also, Kyle is using the prototype of this is very confusing. Okay, so bear with me. Listen very carefully because this will get very confusing. What you see before you, this is the outside, the material outside of what the new Adventurers Edition of LOI will look like. So you can see this leather here. Here's where it gets confusing. This is actually an IMA journal. The inside is IMA, except for the end paper. The end paper is also the new LOI. So it's the end paper LOI, and it's the LOI material. It's like this leather material. It's very nice, actually. It turned out really good. But everything else about the journal, including like the logos and the inside, is all IMA. This is not for sale. What will be for sale is this same material and end paper, but it will be in the new LOI version. Mm-hmm. Kyle is using it because it's a prototype and we wanted to try it out. So when you see it and you're like, "Oh man, I really want that," you can't have it.
This is like a Cheyenne type of product because it's like a really weird prototype. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like
it's in between.
It's the ultimate collector. It's like, oh, I got this with the wrong front. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like when people buy comic books with the wrong like page or something like that, like a misprint, and it's worth a lot of money because it's a misprint.
Yes. Anyway, so we're gonna journal. We're gonna take like 5 minutes or so. Journal. We like we said, we've been traveling for 2 weeks. We just got back home. We want to kind of ground ourselves. If you haven't journaled yet, or you haven't filled out your whole journal, or you want to revisit some journals or a journal, check off something that you've already done today, join us. We're gonna pop open our journals here. I'm gonna turn on some lo-fi, and we're gonna take 5 minutes and journal together.
I want to say something really fast.
Go ahead.
We have 1 week left of Anthony in the Warehouse. Then he's leaving forever. So if anyone wants to create,
not forever.
He's leaving forever.
Kyle's sad because Tone is Kyle's best friend
since 4th grade, and he's moving to Arizona. So if anyone wants to write fan fiction about Anthony leaving the Warehouse, I think that'd be really funny.
That would be great,
and I think that'd be a great parting gift. So if anyone wants to, his name's Anthony. You can call him Tone. You can call him Antonino. His that's the actual name on his birth certificate is Antonino.
Really?
Yeah, he's Brazilian.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's from Brazil.
Why does he go by Antonino?
It's hard. He's also a junior. His dad's name's Antonino. Paul Almeida as well.
Did he ever get called Nino? Because that's pretty cool.
Nino's pretty sick.
No one ever called him El Nino?
No. Well,
you call yourself best friends, huh?
But yeah, so if anyone wants to write fan fiction about
Boy Junior,
yeah,
El Nino Junior,
yeah, I'll share it with him, and he'll feel because he always feels like we don't talk about him, but I feel like we talk about him a lot.
We do.
So
give him some love.
Give him some love. He's done some incredible work for us.
Most of the things you've opened from us from the Heroes Journal in the last
year
were packed by El Nino Junior.
So, anyways, to lo-fi we go.
Here we go.
definitely some bleed.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, we journaled.
Switch it off the page.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw that, but I could not find a pen. So I found a Sharpie, and I used a Sharpie. Kyle just started the Great Hall section, which is pretty exciting. I'm like midway through the Brooms course chapter. And I've never used a Sharpie to fill out the Hero's Journal. I wanted to see how the page would hold up. It definitely bleeds through. I mean, yeah, it bleeds. It's not like it's like terrible on the net. Well, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
Sharpie's aggressive.
I won't lie.
Sharpie's an aggressive thing to use.
And I also didn't fill out my schedule yet, but there it goes. So yeah, that's kind of a quick look. I'll show you the next day, just in case you're ever like, man, I love writing with Sharpies. Hero's Journal, maybe that's the next day. So
Sharpie gel pens are okay though. That's good.
That's true. I bet. Yeah. Anyway, as expected, Sharpies bleed through. So we found a limit.
Found a limit to the paper. But if we got paper that was thick enough for no bleed with the Sharpie, this thing would be awful to write in.
It'd be like super thick, and it'd be like writing on note cards or something.
Yeah. So
anyway,
well, thank you all for being so wonderful and so kind. If we met you in the last 3 weeks, it was a joy. If we're going to meet you in the next 5 weeks, we're super excited.
Yeah.
But either way, thank you so much for being probably the greatest community I've ever created.
True. You guys are amazing.
And you guys are the ones that created it. We are just the people that have the thing, but it's you that makes it special.
True.
And yeah, super thankful for you guys.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Thanks for being brave, being the hero of your story, for supporting us on this journey through thick and thin. For a lot of you, for multiple, it's like the second year, So thank you. Appreciate you guys. We have a lot more cool things coming your way for the rest of the year, and we are focusing on that.
But until Friday, actually, we'll see you tomorrow night.
That's right.
We're back in the Quest Workshop
doing
game.
Quest Workshop on Discord. So yeah, if you guys have questions about your quest, how do I do this? How do I reset my quest? I'm stuck. Whatever. Show up to Discord. It'll be called the Quest Workshop. It's all audio, so you just can hear Kyle and I's sultry voices talk back and forth about, people's quests and how to make them better.
Yeah.
So cool. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. Have a good rest of your day. And happy questing.